Hey everyone, welcome back to the deep dive. We all love getting to the bottom of things, finding out what really matters, right? And today we're diving into a story that's pretty much a household name, How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
By Dr. Seuss, of course. Got to give credit where credit is due. 44 books that guy wrote and illustrated. Pretty impressive.
Absolutely. So we're talking about a story most of us probably know by heart. But our goal today is to go a little deeper, to uncover some of those key insights and maybe even some surprises hiding beneath the surface of this classic tale.
Sounds like fun.
Now, just to set the stage, you remember the basics, right? Every Who down in Whoville, they just lived for Christmas. Absolutely loved it. But then there's the Grinch living just north of town, and he was not a fan.
Not at all.
So that brings us to the big questions for today's deep dive. Why did the Grinch hate Christmas so much? What exactly was his plan to stop it? And in the end, what changed everything?
Lots to unpack there.
All right, let's start with that first question.
Hmm.
The Grinch's, grumpiness, I guess you could call it that.
Yeah, grumpy might be an understatement.
Yeah.
The book says it pretty plainly. The Grinch hated Christmas. The whole Christmas season.
Yeah.
No mincing words there. And then Dr. Seuss gives us a few possible reasons, right?
He does. And they're some of the most iconic lines from the book. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be, perhaps, that his shoes were too tight. But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. So classic Dr. Seuss. But what do you think about those reasons? I mean, especially that heart too small bit.
Well, I mean, the tight shoes and the head thing, those are funny. But that heart being too small, it feels like it's hinting at something deeper. He's missing something important, like maybe the ability to feel happy for other people
Mm.
or to enjoy things himself, like the Who's do.
Right, right. So it's not just that he's in a bad mood. It's more like he's just not wired for happiness.
Exactly. And we see that play out, don't we? It's Christmas Eve, and he's up in his cave looking down on Whoville. The book even describes him with that sour, grinchy frown. So what's he seeing that's ticking him off? What are the Who's doing?
It's those little things, right? Like hanging mistletoe wreaths. Just normal Christmas stuff. But for him, it's like every little bit of Christmas cheer just makes him grumpier and grumpier.
Yeah. But isn't there a moment where it really boils over? Like where he decides he has to do something drastic?
Oh, absolutely. It's when he sees them hanging their stockings. I mean, that's when he realizes tomorrow is Christmas. It's practically here. And he just loses it. He's like, I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming.
It goes from disliking Christmas to wanting to actually prevent it.
Totally. So what do you think it is about Christmas specifically that he can't stand?
I think it's everything. But the book focuses on a few things about Christmas morning that really get under his skin.
Let's hear them.
First, the noise. It's almost like Seuss wants us to feel how loud it is. He writes, oh, the noise, oh, the noise, 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 noise. That's one thing he hated. The noise, 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 noise. It's just this constant barrage of happy sounds.
So what do you think all that noise represents to the Grinch?
I don't know, maybe. Everything he's missing out on, like all that happiness he just can't be a part of. Or won't be a part of, who knows?
Yeah, and it's not just the noise, it's the whole sensory overload of Christmas.
You got it. He can't even stomach the thought of them eating their Who pudding and roast beast. Like it physically repulses him. But, even deeper than the food or the sounds, it's the Who's themselves being happy together. Like that's what really bugs him.
Right. He sees every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand hand in hand and start singing. And after 53 years of putting up with this, he's just done. He's like, I must stop this whole thing.
It's like this deep-seated need to shut down their joy.
Exactly. And so his wonderful, awful idea is born.
And what an idea it is.
Yeah.
What's the first step in this grand plan of his?
Well, he needs to blend in, right? So he decides to impersonate Santa Claus. He makes himself a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat, and he's so pleased with himself, thinking it's a great Grinchy trick.
He thinks he's going to pull one over on the Who's.
Mm.
But there's a problem, isn't there? Even a fake Santa needs a way to get around.
He does. And he needs a reindeer. But of course, reindeer are hard to come by, especially on Christmas Eve. So what's he going to do?
This is where Max comes in.
Poor Max. The Grinch's dog. He gets roped into this whole scheme. The Grinch literally makes him into a reindeer, tying a big wand on his head with red thread. He says, if I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead.
A very Grinch solution, isn't it? No reindeer, no problem. Just make your own.
Yeah.
And once he's got his makeshift reindeer, he needs his getaway vehicle.
Right. He loads up his ramshackle sleigh with bags and sacks. He's all set for his Christmas heist.
Where does he go first? What's his first target?
He heads straight for the houses in Whoville, where everyone's sleeping peacefully. The book really sets the scene, doesn't it? It's all quiet and snowy. All their windows were dark. Quiet snow filled the air. All the Whos were all dreaming sweet dreams without care, like the calm before the storm.
It's like he's about to ruin this perfect little Christmas scene. And he does, doesn't he? He arrives at that first house all sneaky-like.
He creeps up to the house, all stealthy. He even says to himself, "This is stop number 1." Then he climbs up onto the roof, ready to slide down the chimney with his empty bags.
Doesn't sound like it was an easy fit, though.
No, the book says it was a rather tight pinch. He even gets stuck for a minute. But once he's inside, he goes right for the heart of Christmas morning.
The stockings.
Yep. He's like, these stockings are the first things to go. He knows how important they are.
And he is thorough. He doesn't just take a few things, he cleans them out. The book lists everything he takes, and it's kind of amazing how detailed it is.
It's a whole laundry list of Christmas goodies. Every present. Pop guns and bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorn, and plums. It's everything a kid could dream of.
He just shoves it all into his bags, sends it up the chimney, and moves on. But the presents aren't enough, are they? He wants to take away everything.
He wants to wipe out Christmas completely. So he goes to the icebox and takes all their food. The Who pudding, the roast beast, even that last can of Who hash.
He leaves them with nothing. What do you make of that? Like, why take the food too?
I think it's because he wants to steal their Christmas traditions. He's taking away their shared meals, their togetherness. He even takes their Christmas tree and the log for their fire. I mean, talk about going all out.
It's like he's trying to erase Christmas from their lives. And the scene he leaves behind is pretty bleak. It says he leaves nothing but hooks and some wire on the walls. And the only food left is a tiny crumb that was even too small for a mouse. Like, that's harsh.
It is. And he does this to every single house in Whoville. Can you imagine waking up to that on Christmas morning?
Nightmare.
So the Grinch has his sleigh full of skull and Christmas cheer, and he starts heading back up Mount Crumpit. What's going through his mind at this point?
Oh, he is feeling good. He's riding high, literally. And he's convinced he's won. He's Grinchishly humming to himself, imagining all the Whos waking up to an empty Christmas. He's thinking they'll all be crying, boo-hoo!
He's picturing a completely silent, miserable Whoville. But that's not what happens, is it?
Not at all. As he's about to dump all the stolen stuff over the side of the mountain, he hears something. At first, he thinks it's the Who's crying. But then it gets louder and he realizes...
It's singing.
Right. He hears this merry sound coming from Whoville. He looks down, and what does he see?
He sees all the Whos, the tall and the small, singing together. They're celebrating Christmas without any presents at all.
They're not letting the Grinch steal their Christmas spirit. And the book really drives home the point, doesn't it? It says, he hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. Somehow or other, it came just the same.
I love that part. Talk about a reality check for the Grinch.
It blows his mind. He's totally baffled. He just can't understand how they can be happy without all the stuff he stole.
So what does he do?
He tries to figure it out. He spends 3 hours puzzling over it. He's thinking, how could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags.
He's finally starting to realize that maybe Christmas is about more than just stuff.
And that's when he has his big epiphany. He thinks, maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more.
It's the turning point of the whole story.
Definitely. But it's not just a thought, is it? It's like this huge emotional shift for him.
Right. The book says, and what happened then? Well, in Whoville they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day.
Talk about a visual. What do you think that symbolizes? Like his heart actually growing bigger?
I think it shows that he's finally able to feel things he couldn't before. Empathy, compassion, joy, all that good stuff.
And what happens next? Does he just sit there on the mountaintop contemplating his newfound feelings?
Not a chance. He jumps into action. He races back down Mount Crumpit with all the stolen goodies.
Talk about a change of heart. He goes from Grinch to Santa's helper, practically.
Totally. And it gets even better. The story ends with him not just returning the stuff, but actually joining the Whos for their Christmas celebration.
And not just joining them, he carves the roast beast. It's like he's fully embraced their Christmas traditions.
It's the perfect ending. So at the end of the day, what do you think Dr. Seuss is trying to tell us with this story?
I think he's saying that the real meaning of Christmas isn't about the presents or the decorations. It's about something deeper.
It's about being with people you care about. It's about kindness and generosity.
Exactly. And I think it's also about how even the grumpiest, most cynical person can change.
Absolutely. So, as you go about your day to day, maybe think about what really matters in your own life. What are those non material things that bring you joy? And is there someone in your life who could use a little extra kindness this holiday season?
Maybe somebody who needs their heart to grow a few sizes. Food for thought.
You got it. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive. We'll see you next time.